Hi, I will be doing a number of little videos all to do with the past life regression and why it matters. And the first concept we need to get our head around is that we live in a fractured universe. In fact, the whole of creation is fractured. It's not just the universe. The universe is a reflection of the rest of creation. Everything is fractured at every level. And our souls are fractured. They've been fractured in time. In each particular past life, there was a lot of trauma. We keep repeating, and here we are. So as human beings, we are part genetic and part soul. So even as a human being, we're fractured. Genetically, we are machines with pre-programming that is part of our DNA. And that in itself has become fractured in that we've got the physical genetic DNA programming, just like ants and birds and spiders. You can see the genetic programming is brought in from generation to generation. We have that as well. Not in the same way, but we still have it. And we also have developed a brain, a mind, and the mind also picks up programs through life. And the mental programs are often in conflict with the DNA genetic programs, and they both use the hormonal system to achieve what they want. And the primary motivation for both the mind and for the genetic is through fear. So through fear, our system is hormonally activated to achieve all manner of things. And so to that extent, we are machines. Because we behave and we act in the world in ways which are pre-programmed, be it at a physical level or be it at a mental level. The end result is the same. We don't have a choice. We just do as we're told. There is another part to us, which is the soul. And the soul also wants to tell us what to do. So at no level as human beings are we free agents. We just think we are, but we're not. We're machines. Unfortunately, as machines, we are supposed to listen to the soul, but because we've been so fractured in all these previous lifetimes, we are coming back and repeating, and our primary motivation is to heal the fact that we've become so fractured across many lifetimes. And that brings all the baggage from the past life into the present. And so as we're growing up, we have all these experiences which re-traumatize us because we exist in a world of trauma. Everything around us is trauma generating. And we don't stand a chance, really. And yet that is the challenge. That is the challenge. The soul keeps coming back because it wants to heal itself. And it has to somehow connect with the machine to achieve its ends. The takeaway from this is that fear is the primary motivation. Unfortunately, we live in a world where those who are in power and control are well aware that we're all susceptible to fear. So many years ago, Charlie introduced to me a plan of how the ego and the soul integrate in terms of percentages. And the average human being is at a very low level of integration with the soul, i.e., the soul able to communicate through. And so we're talking, the average human being is around somewhere between 20 and 22.7% of ego soul integration. What it means is that the chances of that individual hearing the promptings of the soul is up to 22% of the time, if that. There's very little connection. We're still prompted. I mean, the soul still manages to get through sporadically because the soul is trying to heal us, heal itself. And that means we have to work through the traumatic experiences somehow. And so we are prompted towards meeting people who will elicit the traumas which are stashed away in our unconscious. And so we are reliving experiences so that we can clear whatever it is that's holding us back from connecting. So what I mean by connecting is that the human body only operates in the lower three chakras. First, second, and third. First one's the body, second one's emotions, third one is the mind. And the second chakra, emotions, fear, it is actually to do with relationships, to belonging to a group. So we're all pretty much motivated by the second chakra, by the emotions of fear in relation to the need to reproduce and the need to belong to a group. Those are sort of primary instinctual things. And most people are motivated by that to a great extent. At a primitive level, the development of the mind makes a lot of sense because it helps us to remember where the danger lies. And so we self-program. Unfortunately, in today's world, we are programmed by schools, by society, by our parents, and not in a very nice way, because a lot of the programming is now in conflict with the physical body. As a man, I want to go and fuck. Being crass, sorry. But or as a woman, I want to have a baby. You know, they're natural impulses. Society comes and says, oh no, you can't have sex without being married, without having a man, because who's going to look after? Because the man just wants to go here, there, and everywhere. And so our society says, no, you got to stay with one person. You got to be there for the children so they grow up and they can reproduce for the next generation. But the instinct for the man is to promulgate the seed far and wide. So there are conflicts, and our society wants us to curtail those impulses. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but curtail those impulses so that we conform. You know, there are just so many rules and regulation about belonging to the group. You behave in certain ways so that you won't be ostracized from the group. That goes to extremes in religious groups, in cults. You know, once you belong to a certain belief system, you make all these friends, you now belong to the group. And if you then begin to change your mind, you will lose all your friends. So now you don't leave the group because you want to be part of the group, so you censor your own thoughts and ideas, and so on and so forth. Anyway, that is where the problems arise, because now, emotionally, we are being pulled by the mind and we're pulled by the body, and emotions which do not get expressed, they generate physical muscular problems within us, and for some people they can actually generate problems in the mind. So for some people it's in the body, for other people it's going to be in the mind. Basically, people lose the plot and they move away from so-called reality into some sort of fanciful, dreamlike state of being in the world, because they cannot cope with the reality. Some people literally disassociate from their bodies and they go into some sort of above their body disassociation, and they're not really connected with their bodies. We have many ways of interfering with the integration. But ultimately, what happens is that emotional disturbance within the second chakra gets in the way of connecting with the higher centers, like the heart, which is the means of communication with the soul. It actually begins in the heart. And once we begin to get the communication through, it engages with the imagination, because that is how we make sense of the communication. So there is this split in human beings, and this is the ego-soul integration. So most people are at a very low level, 20-odd%, and the highest that's possible for a human being is, in theory, 88.9, but no one's going to make it there, okay? I mean, you cannot get that far, but that's the maximum. There's a few people who are close, but not many. The challenge for mankind is to sort their traumas so that the channels, the chakric channels, if you like, begin to flow through upwards so that we connect with the heart. And eventually higher up to the sixth chakra, the imagination. And we gradually rise up by working through the traumas. And part of that means that you need to go back in time to previous incarnations to resolve some of the traumas which are being reflected in this lifetime. So to give you an idea, to reach level 50 in ego-soul integration, you might need to go back at least 3 lifetimes. Let me just check. At least 3 lifetimes. To reach level 50, you need to go back roughly, this is very rough guess, to about 3 lifetimes. If you want to go much, much higher, or if you're destined to go much, much higher, then you can go all the way up, which is to about 8, an average of about 8 lifetimes. That is only for a few. This is for the Atlanteans, people who were Atlanteans 12,000 to 20,000 years ago. There's about 20.5 million people on this earth, and they are the ones who they really do need to raise their level. Preferably to 70%. But that's for those few people who are out there. And if you think you're out there and you're one of those, get in touch with me, because I can help you to reach the levels that you need to reach. Because for them, this is the last lifetime on this earth, so they don't have to come back to this planet. They can then go to another planet, and their soul can can incarnate in a different planet. The rest of us who are stuck here, that's not going to happen. So the next level, which is the majority of people that I'm actually attempting to communicate with, which is going to be most of you, and I'm calling the Wayfarers, and you really do need to reach 45% minimum in this lifetime. Okay, that is the goal. And for that, you will need to re-experience 2 or 3 of your previous lifetimes. And I will be sharing with you how to do this. But, it's not just, I'm just going to do this. No, you actually have to work on yourself and do a lot of other things, which again, I will also be giving you a lot of information on how to help yourselves to get here. There is another group called which I call the NPCs, the non-player characters, because they are very low level. They're quite young souls. They've only been here a couple of 100 years, and they're not going anywhere. They will be repeating many, many lifetimes to come. The Wayfarers, there is a reason why you need to do the work. And this will become very apparent within the next 20 years. But that's where you are, and this is your challenge. And hopefully over the years, more and more people will see my videos and pick up the information and work on themselves and help themselves to achieve what needs to be done. And right now, I am speaking with you, sharing all these things because something has changed. What has changed is the Kali Yuga effect. If you look at the Hindu Vedas, they speak of the Kali Yuga, one of the 4 epochs, and this is the worst one. The Kali Yuga is the time of darkness, and this darkness will last for 500,000 years, give or take. In terms of humanity, it began 10,000 years ago. The Hindu Vedas, they say it was 5,000, but Charlie says no, it actually began 10,000 years ago. But what matters is that a year ago, a window opened that will last from that moment 15 years, 14 years ago. And there is a different vibration, harmonic, which has been reaching the earth, which has broken the spell of the Kali Yuga, which means that now is the time to wake up. Nothing happens by accident, but now for the Wayfarers, all of you who are on your way, time to wake up. It's easier to wake up now than it has ever been. And they're making it easy for you. Okay, the guys who run the world, they're making it easy for you. All these conflicts which are going up, they're helping you to wake up in your head from all the indoctrination which has been keeping you suppressed, keeping your consciousness down, keeping you dumbed down. So they're making it easy, but you still have to do the work, and I will be speaking more about this later. So just to wrap this up, you need to clear the decks in terms of your emotions. You need to be aware that you are affected by fear, very much so. It motivates you. People try to control you through fear. And no one can do this for you. You have to notice. You have to notice that is the world we're in. And you have a journey. The journey is to connect with your heart so you can hear the promptings from your soul. And that will involve not just opening to your feelings in your heart, but also connecting to your imagination. So here you are, around 20, 22% perhaps of connection with your heart. So if only 22% of your soul is connected with you, where's the other 78%? Any ideas? Feel free to let me know. Bye for now.